We're coming up on 290 years that Zwilling has been in operating as a knife manufacturer. Easily the longest running of all time. They are an amazing company. I have nothing in my house but Zwilling Henckels. I have had that for years. The issue has always been very, very expensive. We work out a very special deal with them to get you not only a full set of your everyday knives that you're going to use, your chef knives, your prep knives, all that. We are this year adding a full set of 8 4.5-inch steak knives, all right? Last year's model, year before, we never did the steak knives. We sold them separately. People were like, it'd be so great to have them all stored in one block. Well, guess what? That's exactly what you can do. These knives have a wonderful little secret. Your regular chef's knives are all self-sharpening because inside the container, you will actually be able to sharpen the knife. There's a ceramic sharpener. Every time you put a knife in, every time you put it in, it gets sharp. See them right there? Those are ceramic blades in there. Every time I put the knife in and take it out, I am getting sharpened. It also comes with, in my opinion, the best shears on the market. These are amazing, even a bottle opener in the center. That is included. Every knife that you will need, your paring knife, your serrated. In fact, let me just show you all the knives. We've laid them all out on the table here, all right? And going one side to the next, you will get every knife that you need in the kitchen. So you've got an extra long bread knife right here, and you'll see this one is serrated. You can also use that as a vegetable prep knife. You are getting a Santoku knife. You get 2 of the chef's knives. You get a carving knife, which is beautiful, and then you get the jumbo 8-inch chef's knife. You get the serrated utility knife. You get a paring knife. You also get the shears are included. And then look, here's where the rubber meets the road, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not 6, 8. Jumbo steak knives are included. We're even including the sharpening block. You have your choice of getting this in black, or you can get it in walnut. You want to hear the best part? If anything happens to your knives within your lifetime, they will be replaced or you will be refunded. Lifetime warranty on these. Talk to your local sales representatives when you're calling in or check it online, but a lifetime warranty. Our regular everyday price is $189. Today we dropped it $30. If you get an HSN credit card, the price will be $119.95. I think this is a wonderful gift for you. I think this is a wonderful gift for anybody in your life that's a chef or wants to be a chef, a wannabe cook. They will love it. Take advantage of it. It really is a spectacular, spectacular deal. So, with all that said, let me introduce you to our special guest. My good friend John Florell is standing by. He is a cooking expert of his own, a great outdoorsman. I know one thing, this guy appreciates really good cutlery, as do I. John, welcome to our show. Great today's special, buddy.
Right. Thanks for having us in. I'll tell you what, I'm so excited about this set. The biggest knife block set that we've offered at HSN, 16 pieces in this beautiful ashwood block. Now this, you've got the walnut or the black. Both of them have this beautiful stainless steel cap. And I want you to notice on the top of the cap, every slot is labeled so you can see the picture of the knife. The chef's knife has its own spot. The carving knife has its own spot. The bread knife has its own spot. The reason that we do this is inside the block, okay? Every time you pull the knife out or put it back in, it sharpens itself. You will never have to send your knives away to get them sharpened. You will never have to buy a sharpening stone or a sharpening stick and try and figure out the right angle or how do I sharpen my knives. This takes care of it all for you. You'll have these knives forever. I'll tell you what, here's what we figured out at Zwilling Henckels. And by the way, if you're not familiar with our company, we started in Germany back in 1731. We still have the same factory in the same building for nearly 300 years, crafting the best quality knives in the world. In fact, we've become so popular among chefs that we now manufacture our knives in nearly a dozen different countries. Our knives are so sharp, made of the best materials, that they literally, all you do is touch it and it cuts it. The problem with the kitchen knife, and the food does not dull a knife. Using a knife on just food normally does not do anything to a knife. When you buy a knife brand new, all you do is touch it and it cuts it. Okay, the problem with a knife is after you cut through your food, that knife hits your countertop, your cutting board, plates, dishes. That's what's going to dull your knives over time. That's why everybody has a drawer full of dull knives, because after you cut into a chicken or a ham, or maybe it's a ham bone, a chicken bone, or a lamb bone, or it could be an avocado pit, okay? The edge will start to deteriorate over time because of those hard surfaces that they hit. Here's where Zwilling Henckels has come up with the most ingenious thing. This knife block, the way it's set up, every time you replace that knife into its slot, it sharpens. When you take it back out, it puts the edge back on there. Not to 40% or 50% of its original factory sharpness, Guy. It brings it back to 95% of its original factory sharpness. So today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you're always going to have a razor sharp knife. It's going to cut like the very first day you brought it home. And whether you're using our chef's knife, our beautiful 10-inch chef's knife, and by the way, if you priced Zwilling Henckels knives in the stores anywhere across the country, you'll know that just our chef's knife, sometimes you'll pay as much as you're paying for the entire block set today, and this comes in the set. You're also getting our carving knife, and I'm going to clean a spot here on the table because I've got a beautiful ham. We've got the holidays coming up, whether you're cooking a turkey, ham, roast beef, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter what it is that you're going to cut. With our carving knife, this is it's like a dream come true. You'll be able to shave ham. You'll be able to carve your turkey, your roast beef, your beautiful standing rib roast. All you do is move it, and it cuts it. I mean, this is the most beautiful carving knife. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, but it's razor sharp. And our knives, by the way, we're talking about the best materials in the world. High carbon stainless steel from the very tip of the knife goes all the way through the handle. It's one piece of high carbon stainless steel. The handles are triple riveted. These are the most popular in the world today, triple riveted handles. They will stay on there, stay sturdy, and they are perfectly balanced in your hand. You will not be fatigued if you use our knives. That's why chefs, you can ask any chef in the world, Zwilling Henckels knives are considered the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. And I got to tell you, with this knife block set, you're getting all of the essentials. You get our chef's knife, our carving knife, even the Santoku knife, which you're going to absolutely love for slicing your vegetables and fruits. These are like a dream. Maybe your softer cheeses. It's got the dimples in the blade, so it aerates, lets that air pocket get in there, so food won't stick as you're slicing, dicing, or chopping with this knife. These are absolutely beautiful knives. They feel great, they work great, and they always stay sharp because, Guy, every time you replace that knife into the block, it sharpens. Can you hear that? Listen, I'll get my microphone close so you can hear it.
I hear it.
You can hear it come out? And hear it go in. Now, here's what makes this special. And each one of these knives in the knife block are sharpened at a different angle. So where normally you have one of these that you sharpen your knives with, okay, you ever seen people do this, you know, maybe in a butcher shop or whatever? A professional knife sharpener can only get a knife back to about 80% of its original factory sharpness, okay? A normal homeowner may be able to get it to 70, 75% of its original factory sharpness. The way these are set up, our chef's knife, that sharpening sticks inside are set to a perfect 15-degree angle. So your chef's knife will always be sharpened at 15 degrees. Your Santoku knife, which has a different thickness of the blade, will sharpen exactly to 11 degrees, okay? That's because, and that's why we labeled these each differently, because each one is set up specifically for that knife to give you 95% of its original factory sharpness, Guy. That's the Zwilling Henckels difference. That's why the quality, the craftsmanship, the beauty of this block, and it's the perfect gift for anybody that has a drawer full of dull knives right now at home.
And John and I appreciate this. This is what we call balance, okay? When you build a knife beautifully, you should be able to hold it in the middle of your finger right at the joint where the handle meets that part of the blade, and it should be balanced. And that's exactly what it is. John was referring to that beautiful steel that goes all the way through. It's called single forging. They use one piece of steel all the way up and down. That gives it its strength, and then it is anchored by these 3 rivets right here. So you have great balance, you have great control over a knife. You know, the first thing that you buy when you are in chef school is knives. And knives are tools. All a knife is a tool. But why would you buy cheap tools when you cook every day? It does not make sense to me. You wouldn't buy cheap tires for your car, right? You have this fancy car and you put cheap tires on it. Now, I mean, that's where the rubber meets the road, literally. So that is an important thing. Your knives are everything when it comes to kitchen prep work. So let me go through the offer one more time. You will get this entire set, including the steak knives, for $159.95 for today only. Goes up $30 tonight at midnight. $31 on your credit card, 99 cents. Will get them delivered to anyone. You can do the bill to ship to where you send these. You want to send it to your kids. You want to send it as a gift. They will absolutely love it. The beauty of these knives is the selection of them as well. Not only you get a lifetime warranty, so you'll have these knives the rest of your lives, but it's the selection. Every knife you will need. It's very similar to the cookware set that I have coming up. The granite stone, every pot or pan, every bakeware, everything you need is included. You will not have to buy another set of knives, all right? You've got them all. Chef's knives, bread knives, steak knives, shears, prep knives, paring knives, everything you could possibly want. And the sharpness, when you use really good steel, and I will be careful because these are incredibly sharp, all right, you are going to be able to do things that you cannot do with your regular knives. And I'm talking about cut paper-thin slices of tomato. I mean, when you think about this, I can take this little piece of tomato and I can probably slice 15 or 20 slices out of it. I mean, and you can sort of see how thick those slices of tomato are. And when you're prepping, whether it's fruit or whatever, and I'm just using the Santoku knife, you are going to get the most incredible results. Remember, when you order today, you've got your choice of the walnut, which is the one I own at my house. I own this set, but I didn't get the steak knives. You're getting the steak knives this year, or you could order it in the black. Remember, each one of these slots on the straight edge knives will sharpen them. You know, John, the biggest problem people have with knives is keeping them sharp. And you know, it's funny, I go to my brother's house and all his knives are dull. I'm like, dude, have you heard of a knife sharpener? Get yourself a knife. I actually bought him one. But what's the beauty about this is you don't have to deal with that, all right? All you do is you put them inside. Every time you withdraw it, you're getting that sharp edge. Every time you put it back in, and you can hear it, you can hear the grind, and it's doing it at the perfect angle. By the way, the cutting boards are available if you want to get those. I didn't even know we had these in the show. Beautiful Henckels cutting boards. Those are available. We'll put that information up. But remember, if $159 is a little much, get a brand new HSN credit card today. It'll be $109.95 for knives you'll have forever. John, you can't beat that offer. You really can't.
You really can't, Guy. And I tell you, whether you're cooking in the kitchen or maybe you've got a sportsman in your life, for fish, you can't beat this. I mean, that carving knife, these are like a razor blade on a handle. All you do is touch the food, it cuts the food. And whether you're, camping, fishing, put them in an RV. I'll tell you what, for filleting fish, the flexibility of that carving knife, it's absolutely second to none. I mean, literally, that fish will flop out of its skin and swim around the bucket for a while. I mean, look at that. Perfect, uniform, razor sharp slices, okay? I mean, perfect for maybe it's the bagels and lox, maybe it's, in fact, here I've got some, I'm gonna put these out here in the front. I'll tell you what, this knife is so perfect. In fact, I can probably even take a tomato. You wanna talk about a fish. Fish are hard to fillet, but how about this? When you can take a tomato, lay it down on your countertop and fillet the skin off of a tomato, and then come back and lay that down again. And I mean, you wanna talk about sharp knives, you can fillet a tomato, okay? That is a sharp knife. And the reason is, see, again, knives are all new when we buy them, okay? Zwilling Henckels has figured out that it's not the food that dulls your knives. It's the cutting board, it's the countertop, it's plates and dishes. These are the things that dull our knives over time. And that's why we've designed this knife block with knife sharpeners built in that literally sharpen the knife every time you put it away. When you take it back out, it sharpens. So you'll always, every single time you use that knife, it's gonna be like a razor blade on a handle. And Guy, with the set that you're getting today, I gotta tell you, this set has everything in the set that you will ever need in the kitchen. You've got your 8-inch chef's knife. You've got your 8-inch bread knife, which I'm gonna show you in a second. That carving knife, which I've been playing with. I'll tell you what, you're gonna love that Santoku knife. You got your utility knife that's serrated. You're gonna love that for opening boxes that come up. For, when HSN delivers to your door, you always have to open those boxes and packages. You're gonna also love the paring knife. It's a perfect 4-inch paring knife. The shears, I'll tell you what, guys, let me show you those shears, because if you don't have kitchen shears in your kitchen right now, you don't know what you're missing. I gotta tell you, these shears are so sharp and so durable that you can literally take a chicken right out of the oven and cut right through. You can split a chicken, the breastbone and everything, right down through the center of that chicken, cut through the backbone, quarter your chicken before you serve it. And I gotta tell you, I mean, you couldn't do that with a knife, but with our shears, they're absolutely beautiful. And you can even do things like, how about your herbs? How about next time you get a dozen roses delivered to your house and you want to trim the stems on your roses? I've had people tell me they use their kitchen shears outside to trim some of the plants around the house. I got to tell you, these are so handy to have in the kitchen. You won't believe you lived without them. And you're getting these in the set today from Zwilling Henckels. And by the way, they also have a bottle opener in those, in those shears as well. I tell you though, the bread knife, Guy, I've gone to the stores and I've seen bread knives that are stamped on the blade, right on the blade. It says use on bread only. They're like 80 bucks for a bread knife, okay? You're getting this in the set. And I gotta tell you, it's not only great for bread, you're gonna love this for your holiday cakes. I mean, you wanna talk about soft bread. Look at this, this is super soft. You're using that chef's knife to carve the ham. Look at this, bread. You can slice a slice of bread so thin. Hey, I'll tell you what, the price of vegetables these days. Hey, Guy, you mentioned it before. You can slice a tomato so thin. Yeah. You could slice a tomato with this knife as well. That's what's so great about these Henckels knives. I mean, they're made for bread for specific uses, but you can use them for just about everything. At the price of tomatoes these days, you can make one tomato last all winter.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that.
You may have to, John.
Thin slices.
Hey, listen, John and I would say there's one area where you should never try to cheap out, and that's knives, okay? Because
that's right.
A cheap knife is a dangerous knife. A cheap knife will not hold an edge for very long. If it's thinner material, that's why it gets dull so quickly. And if a knife is dull, you add extra pressure. That's how you cut yourself. Professional chefs, they don't cut themselves on really, really sharp knives. They cut themselves on dull knives because they're in a hurry, because they got to push. When you have a razor sharp knife, you don't have to push that hard. You let the knife do the work, all right? Tuck your fingers under, always use the tuck under, and just cut away from you. I mean, you will be fine. Knives that are sharp, quality knives are safer knives than the cheap ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you could go buy, a knife at a store for a chef's knife for $20 or $30 and get it home and you'll be okay with that. Don't do it. This is an investment every day. John, you heard the earlier when I said, you wouldn't buy cheap tires for your car because they're very important. Buying cheap knives is like buying cheap tires, but you eat every day, right? You eat every day.
I agree. And you know what I love about this set, though, Guy, is not only are you getting the quality of Zwilling Henckels, yeah. When you give this as a gift, that insignia that's right here on front of the box, I mean, that means quality. And anybody that knows cutlery will tell you, we're the oldest brand in the cutlery world, okay? We've been around for nearly 300 years. And this is what we do, is create kitchen cutlery for the best chefs in the world, including you at home. And what I love about this set, it not only comes with just 4 of our beautiful steak knives, you're getting 8 of our steak knives in the knife block. It stores inside the same block, so you always have those beautiful steak knives ready to go. And when I say beautiful steak knives, I'm talking about a slice. It's almost like when you can cut a steak this nice, when it cuts like butter, it tastes like butter. I mean, it's absolutely razor sharp for your steaks, for your, maybe it's a pork chop, maybe it's a chicken breast. I mean, you want to talk about beautiful steak knives. They not only look great, they cut great, Guy, with those same triple riveted handles, the same quality high carbon stainless steel, full tang. These handles aren't like those wooden handles that you get in, those steakhouses where the handles are loose because they've been going, you'll never have to worry about that. Remember, we guarantee our quality, we guarantee our craftsmanship, and I'll tell you, if you've never used a Zwilling Henkel knife before, you are in for a treat this holiday season. Whoever you get these for are in for a treat. I love that the steak knives don't go into a drawer. They stay out where you have access to them in your knife block. And again, you will never have to sharpen a knife again. They stay sharp today, tomorrow. They'll be sharp next week, next month, next year. Every single time you pick up this knife, it's going to be like a razor blade on a handle.
Every time there's a sharpening. I'm sharpening every time I take it out. You'll be proud of these knives, especially during the holidays when you have people coming to your house and they're like, wow, you got Zwilling Henckels. And what's wonderful too, John, is that that this knife brand, oldest knife brand that I've ever heard. I mean, they're almost 300 years. I think they're going to be 290 years this summer. The oldest knife brands out there, they have maintained that quality forever. And normally when you go into a cutlery store, you can spend $159 on one Zwilling knife, okay? One of their fancy, decorative, all that. You can spend that on one. You're getting the quality that they put into every single knife, even their most high-end, chef's knives that cost $200 and $300 a piece. They're putting that quality in. This is meant for our home user who aspires to be a chef, that realizes the importance of what a tool this is. I mean, when you think about it, the first thing when you go to culinary school, the first thing you get is a set of knives. When you become an auto mechanic, what's the first thing you get? Tools. You got to have really good tools, all right? And tools for thousands of years, right? When we started making tools, those are the things that make our life easy. If you buy crappy tools, you're gonna get crappy results, or you're gonna hurt yourself. So I implore you to take a look at this. If it's for you, if it's for your hubby, if it's for your partner, your wife, your grandma, your kids who just graduated college and you wanna get them a really special gift. Remember, I have two choices. It comes in the walnut, which is the one I own. Also comes in the black. We are including the steak knives. You get 8 steak knives. We didn't do that last year. I love this set because that's the first thing I did after I got my set. I had to go out and spend $79 on a set of steak knives that matched it. All right, and you are getting those all included. All right, we reduced the shipping down to $7.50. Brand new HSN credit card drops the price to $119.95. with the $40 off on your brand new HSN credit card. FlexPay, stretch out the payments. 5 flex of $31.99. I think, did they get an extra flex, Kyle, with HSN credit card? Yeah, $26.66. And here's the last thing I'll say before I hand it back to John. You'll have these knives forever. They have a lifetime warranty. Anything happens, you're covered for the life of your life or the life of the knives. You're gonna be good to go. John, we got about 1 more minute.
Hey, I'll tell you, Guy, what I love about this set more than anything is not only the craftsmanship, the durability, the sharpness of our knives. I mean, when you can slice through an avocado, pit and all, it hits the countertop or cutting board, but yet you'll never have to worry about it getting dull. You can take that chef's knife and slice bread just as easily as the bread knife, but you're getting that bread knife because I'll tell you, for those holiday breads that we're all going to be serving over the holidays, you're going to absolutely love this for angel food cake, for hot, fresh bread right out of the oven, for slicing your bagels for breakfast, for those beautiful Christmas loaves. This bread knife is absolutely a must-have in the kitchen. You're getting this in the set today from one of the premier, we are the premier kitchen cutlery company, Zwilling Henckels, with our beautiful, beautiful 16-piece set today, self-sharpening. Guy, you will never have to sharpen a knife again. Even if it does hit countertops and cutting boards, it sharpens itself every single time you put it away, and every time you take it back out to use it. you're going to have a knife that is razor sharp.
Hey,
it's going to be like the very first day that you brought it home and sliced a tomato. You know that feeling, right?
I know.
I mean, it's
it,
like,
John.
wow.
I know it. Hey,
it's amazing.
Hey,